Lewis Hamilton's "not really" says it all as Ferrari fumbles into another weekend of woes. Lewis Hamilton, seven-time world champion and master of maintaining calm under pressure, gave fans an absolute gem of a quote heading into Saturday's Miami sprint race. When asked if he could make moves from a P7 starting position, his response was swift, sharp, and painfully honest: "Not really. That's it." 2 words. Enough to sum up the mood in the Ferrari garage with more efficiency than any press release ever could. For anyone holding on to hope that Hamilton's switch to Ferrari would instantly light up the grid with fireworks and nostalgia-tinged glory, it might be time to put those red rose-tinted glasses away. Sure, he was closer to teammate Charles Leclerc in Friday's sprint shootout than he was 2 weeks ago in Saudi Arabia. But closer doesn't mean much when both Ferraris are stuck in P6 and P7, metaphorically waving at the Red Bulls and McLarens disappearing into the distance. The SF25, Ferrari's shiny new piece of engineering optimism, has so far delivered about as much thrill as a lukewarm espresso. Hamilton's still trying to wrangle the thing like it's a shopping cart with a wobbly wheel. And after 12 years of dancing gracefully with the Mercedes whatevers, you can't really blame him for needing time to get his rhythm back. Shanghai offered a flicker of light. A glimmer of, maybe. But Miami? Well, Miami's proving to be more of a reminder that a glimmer is not a glow-up. Hamilton, ever the professional, gave the media something slightly more digestible than his two-word masterpiece. "It was a better session," he said, with all the enthusiasm of someone complimenting a slightly less burnt piece of toast. "P1 was probably a bit better, the car was a bit better, the car was a bit nicer to drive." Translation? The SF25 is now a 6 out of 10 instead of a 4. Progress. But the real kicker came when he addressed the elephant in the garage: the car's speed, or rather, the lack thereof. "We are just lacking speed," he admitted. No sugar-coating. No metaphorical smoke blown in anyone's direction. Just a brutally honest diagnosis: the car's slow. But, hey, there's always work to do. Hamilton's nothing if not diligent. "We just keep working from there," he said. Which in F1 language usually translates to, "We'll spend the next 48 hours furiously tweaking every bolt, setting, and winglet and hope a miracle shows up before Sunday." When pressed further on whether he could realistically move up in the race, Hamilton doubled down on the mood. "Not really," he said. Again. The man is consistent. "I think all the cars ahead are faster. I don't know what else to say." And honestly, what else can you say? There's only so much positive spin one can put on the fact that your car is slower than the 5, or 6, or 7, directly in front of you. Asked if there were ideas to improve the car for the rest of the weekend, Hamilton did what most seasoned F1 veterans do when they've heard the same question for the 493rd time. He gave the classic, "We've got ideas, but don't get too excited" answer. There's always ideas, whether or not they will be right or not. Which is basically code for, we're going to try stuff. Some of it might work. Most of it probably won't. There's definitely learnings to be taken, setup changes, how the car behaved. There's definitely work to do to pick up speed going into the rest of the weekend. A valiant effort to stay hopeful. But you can practically hear the sigh between the lines. And Hamilton's not alone in this festival of frustration. His teammate Charles Leclerc was just as done with it all. Asked how his sprint qualifying session went, Leclerc gave a one-word review that could rival any scathing Rotten Tomatoes film critique. Bad. That's it. One word. So little, yet so much. He clarified, kind of, saying, the lap was good. But the pace is just not at all there for now, so it's a bit annoying, but it's the way it is for now. A bit annoying? That's the diplomatic way of saying, I just threw a near-perfect lap and still got outpaced like I was riding a scooter. Leclerc, never one to roll over and give up, still promised to give it a go in the race. I'll try my best tomorrow to try to do something special with the start. But then, reality smacked back in. But to be honest, there's not much room for improvement today. Oof. Imagine pouring your soul into a lap, nailing every apex, braking like a god, and then being told, yeah, still not fast enough. It's just, that's the pace of the car. At this point, Ferrari might want to consider rebranding the SF25 as the Me25. Leclerc also confirmed what most fans have suspected since preseason testing. The car isn't bad in one type of corner. No, that would be too easy. It's every corner, really, he said. Beautiful. Poetic. Tragic. Yes, the slow speed seems to be a little bit more of our weakness, he added, but it changes from one weekend to the other, so it's just not great. So let's summarize. The car is inconsistent. It's slow in slow corners. It's not particularly fast in fast corners either. The drivers are frustrated. The upgrades aren't working. The gap to the front runners isn't shrinking. But other than that, everything's going just great. Of course, we're only a few races into the season. There's still time. Time for improvements. Time for redemption. Time for someone in Maranello to find the fast setting on the simulator. But for now, Lewis Hamilton's not really might just be the most honest soundbite you'll hear all weekend. And honestly, it's refreshing. Because while fans love the drama, the rivalries, the breathtaking overtakes, and the champagne-soaked podiums, sometimes the most compelling moment of all is a legend of the sport, stripped of PR polish, just saying what we're all thinking. Not really.